Love how you do that. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Teen Talks. It is the holiday season and it is right around the corner, Christmas and all those other wonderful things. And I'm wearing my sort of Christmassy winter sweater, always gets me in the mood.
So am I.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay, I can't say anything at my kid. I'd be like, okay, could you find something a little better?
That looks like a Christmas like tree, like a pine leaf. No, doesn't like no.
Mm, no,
Anyways, it's fine.
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, we decided that on this last podcast of 2023, we would talk about, or it's not the last, right? Second to last.
Second last, yeah.
The last one before Christmas and
Mm.
all those other holidays, that we would discuss the importance of contribution.
Mm.
Contribution in the lives of families and what the impact can be on your teen, and what's a good way, some suggestions for contribution. So I know that it's big in your life, right? You want to talk
Mm-hmm.
about that? And
Yeah. Yeah, I think contribution has always been in the forefront of my life. I think when it comes to my mission and just everything, like contribution is always like number one. Um, and I think with this, just with Christmas and everything, Christmas is all about contribution. It's all about like giving, right? It's all about gifting
Mhm.
and giving to others and to your loved ones and spending time together and all that stuff. And I just find that this is a perfect time to talk about this. Um, I personally, I didn't like grow up with my family necessarily like, celebrating Christmas all the time. We'd go
Mhm.
like to family friends events and stuff because we were invited quite often. When I moved to France, I spent lots of Christmas like celebrations with other families. So I really understand the passion and the feeling of Christmas and I really enjoy it.
Mhm.
Um, However, because with my family, we didn't necessarily have this sort of Christmas tradition of our own, um, I, along with my family, but also I think it was more me driving it at some point, was that um, wherever I was staying, I would go to like the biggest city, like that was close by, and I would just go around. Either I was with my family or I was with friends or sometimes even just on my own. And I'd just go around and I'd, try and contribute in some way by like, giving meals to the homeless. So I'd go and ask them, what they want to eat and I'd go and get them for it and I'd try and just make them feel a little bit better because they're obviously going through their stuff. They're not with their families. They're struggling to find food and all that stuff. So just to help them out a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe make them smile a little bit. But just
I
that's
love
like
that
one.
about you. I love that about you, Rehan, that
Ah,
you have that big servant heart. It is just beautiful to watch.
I
Beautiful.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's funny because ultimately, if you think about it, it is something that is very selfish, and we can talk about this because sure, I am giving. I am giving to people, and the intention is to help them. But ultimately, I'm also fueling a need inside of myself, and I'm ultimately I am feeling good inside as well. And
Mhm.
we know this, like when you give to others, what you receive in terms of like the feelings and the fulfillment and everything inside, it's very, very powerful, right? It's
Yeah.
extremely powerful. And no matter what, no matter to what extent and what scale we're talking about, it could be gifting someone a gift for their birthday or, doing some crazy big project where you're helping thousands of people, right? Um,
Mhm.
that feeling is there where yes, you're giving, there's that sense of selflessness,
Yeah.
but there's also a sense of selfishness because you're also receiving, you're doing it. So I don't know, it's kind of conflicting as well. But um yeah, I
Well,
think
what is it that Tony Robbins says is the secret to living is
is
giving?
giving. Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah. It
I
really
mean,
is.
I, it, I always, I, receiving a gift is nice, but
Yeah.
giving a gift feels so much richer. It feels so much better. It's just like, it fills your heart. It makes you feel good. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it right now, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Because it's about you know, I think if we're to talk on like a really on a big scale, life in general,
mhm,
life is not about being successful, right? It's about being fulfilled. You want to be fulfilled.
mhm,
And at least in my opinion and the opinions of many, many other people out there,
yeah,
the best way to be fulfilled is to give and to contribute,
yeah,
right? And what better way to start than with the new year coming and with Christmas, being literally just around the corner. Like it's it's now, right? This is
mhm,
a really good time to start thinking about things like this and to just think about maybe on a micro level, like just with your family, with your community, or even on a bigger level, like what are some of the little things that you guys can start doing to help have a little impact, a positive impact, and to contribute in some way. And we'll get into this, but it's a really cool thing to do as a family as well. Like, or with your loved ones and with your friends to just have some sort of a positive impact together because that can also bring you
mhm,
together. And yeah, I think it's a really cool thing. Like, obviously, this is Teen Talk, so we want to talk about how you can, as a parent, can introduce this concept to your teen and just experience that together and then help
yeah.
them with their growth, right? So Susan, why don't we dive into that a bit?
Well, also, yeah. So, remember that you are you are your teen's biggest role model.
Hmm.
Whether you believe it or not, whether you think they're really watching you, they are. They're watching you, they're seeing what you do. And so when you are contributing with a full heart to something of value, giving of something, they see that. They
Yeah,
see that and they're going to model you. So be the best model for them. And the best way I think to do it is to make a decision maybe as a family to contribute in some way. Or one year we decided, I have 3 kids, and we decided this is when they were older and presents were, I think it was a year that was kind of tough. So we decided instead of buying all these little tiny things for each other, maybe just do one present for each other, and then let's decide each one, the 5 of us, what do you want to give to? What's in your heart? So for me, it was foster kids. So my gift was I contributed to something for foster kids. My kids and my husband, they picked their own as well. So like I think my daughter, she was like, there's an organization. Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it was where you buy a cow for a family or in this village that they use the cow for milk and stuff like that. So they each picked, and it was a great way to go, man, I'm contributing. And they did it wholeheartedly. They got right into
yeah,
it, contributing, using that money that you would spend on things that just are things, but making a difference in somebody's life.
yeah,
That is huge. So
yeah,
that was one way we did it. um there's so many others, but it definitely, it if you don't do it when they're young, they're not they're less likely to want to
yeah,
contribute as they're older. When they're young right now, when they're teenagers, they can feel it. And when you feel it, that's impact, right? So when you
yeah,
do it together and they feel what it feels like to give, that's going to impact their heart going forward,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And it's I think many of us are very privileged to
Mhm.
have the lives that we have. And there's a sense of understanding that there are people out there who aren't as privileged, who aren't as
Yep.
fortunate,
Yep.
right? And
Many.
who could just like benefit from a helping hand.
Hmm.
And And I'm not saying like, it doesn't even have to be a big financial contribution. It doesn't have to be a big involvement or anything. It could be something really simple. It could be something where I remember my sister and I once, this was like, I don't know how old we were, maybe like 11 years old. We had written all these messages, like just these little kind words on post-it notes. And we just went for a walk and we just started sticking these on like cars and stuff, like
Oh, cool.
for random people.
Uh-huh.
And I've seen TikToks actually of, you know, people going around in public with like folded like notes, like just these kind of words of affirmation, and like a flower or something like that. And they'd give it to a random stranger and then just walk away. And they just film that person's reaction of like them reading that note and how like emotional that person becomes because of
Yeah.
the power in that message. It could be something as simple as that, right? Like putting a smile on
Yeah.
someone else's face,
Mm-hmm.
that's a form of contribution.
Well, because
That's a way of giving back.
what made me think when you said that is so many people feel invisible,
Yeah,
right? They feel invisible, like they're not seen and heard.
yeah,
And to do something like that shows them that they are seen.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And the
Huge.
impact, right? Like you might think of it, oh, it's just making someone smile. But like, first of all, a smile is super valuable,
Oh, yeah.
right?
You
What
get
if
that
that
so
person,
easily every day.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And also what if that person has been going through something and
Hmm.
hasn't felt any joy for such a long time? Or what if that one thing triggers something in them where they decide to go out and pass it on and give to someone else, and then they give to someone else, and that ripple effect is created, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
We sure need that in this world today, I tell you.
yeah, and it can be something so simple. It can be something
Right.
so small, right? And with this time of year, I know Susan and I, we had talked about this, and one thing that we want to share with you is, it would be such a good idea, a really good idea for you and your teen and your family to like choose some sort of an activity to do as a family, to do together where you go out and you just do something to
Hmm.
contribute to make people smile. It could be like volunteering at a soup kitchen. It could be you writing down these kind little messages on post-it notes and sticking them on people's doors, right?
Hmm.
Whatever it is. But find something that, you'd want to do as a family. Introduce this thing to your teens, and
Yeah.
because this is also like giving them that sense of contribution. It's helping them as well with their development, and ultimately it's also bringing you closer, because when you do things like this, when you are contributing together, you're actually bringing yourselves closer. You're improving your relationship as
Oh,
well.
yeah. It's a
So
bond.
yeah, I don't know, like what suggestions do you have, like ideas of like things that, parents and teenagers and families could do to like go around and help and contribute?
There's this one family that I sort of follow on social and stuff, and listen to their podcast. And then one of the things they do is they get a bunch of envelopes and different denominations of money,
Uh-huh.
and they put different amounts in each envelope, right? They don't know how much is in each envelope
Yeah.
because they're all the same. And they each get a bunch of envelopes and they go out wherever and they start just handing them to random people that look like
Yeah.
they could use it, right? And so, they might get $5 or they might get $50. They might get
Yeah.
$100, but you're giving them out randomly. You don't know what the amounts are. I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
And you just look at people and go, I think this person could use this,
Yeah.
and just, I just think that's so magical. It's
Yeah.
magical. It's like being Santa Claus. It's so
Yeah.
cool. And I bet the universe or whatever, that when you're doing that randomly, the right amount probably goes to the person who
Mm,
needs it the most, right? I don't know, it's just so cool. So that's one
yeah.
idea.
I love that idea. I love that idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's so many ways and you can be creative with it. But
so many. And
but
there's families that don't have anything, or there's families that don't have enough money for, their Christmas dinner or whatever. What a cool thing to find a family like that somehow. I know there's ways.
Yeah.
and make them, bring them a Christmas dinner,
Yeah.
or invite someone to your home who
Yes.
doesn't have a family to be with.
Yeah. I've been on the receiving end of that many
Mm,
times when,
yeah,
obviously the fact like me being in France, for example, um, like I'm not with my family, and like a lot of my friends, like in recent years and stuff, they've all told me like, why don't you come do Christmas with us, right?
yeah.
And just
So
just
cool.
that feeling of, again, like you said before, feeling wanted and like involved and all that stuff. It matters. Like it changes,
Yeah.
the way you feel.
Hmm.
And Susan, I have a question because I was thinking about something as you were talking. Have you watched Ted Lasso?
Yeah, think so.
So Ted Lasso is an Apple TV TV series for people who don't know. And I don't want to spoil it, but on Christmas, one of the members of staff like of this soccer team, because it's about soccer, he invites all the players who aren't with their families to his house for Christmas.
Oh,
And they
cool.
do this big, like, he just has everyone over for Christmas that everyone feels like they're with family and stuff. I
Yeah,
just find that so cool. And
that is cool.
yeah, and you mentioned it too, and everyone kind of brings like food from their own like cultures and traditions and stuff, and they just have this big meal together. And I think that would be really cool as well for like, if people who are on their own,
Yeah.
to just kind of invite them over and be like, look,
Oh, for
you
sure.
know,
Yeah.
come
Yeah. And
spend
then
Christmas with us.
just love on them.
Yeah,
And you know
so
what?
cool.
Like, get them up like so. This Christmas, my daughter's sort of boyfriend is his family. He lives by her, but his family's in California. I know we're in Washington, and
Yeah,
so he won't be going down there for Christmas. And so we've invited him to join us. And I even I got him a stocking, you know, so that he can feel like he's included. So,
yeah,
that kind of stuff. And although I'm not getting him a bunch of presents, I did get him a present, and just to make him feel like you're welcome here, and we've thought of you. We've thought of you enough to get you a stocking to put up with our stockings, that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
um yeah, there's people out there who just can't make it home or whatever.
yeah,
There's people out there who have lost their family. I have a friend who just recently lost his wife after 40 something years of marriage. She had a brain tumor and she died within 3 months, and he's alone. I mean, he has his kids,
yeah,
but that would be something like to just include them,
yeah,
ask them anyway. So I don't know. I think we all have people in our life who probably are alone.
yeah,
So why not ask them to come and join you, or
yeah,
go to them?
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
It's endless, the possibilities of things you could do.
Yeah. Yeah, just be creative with it. And if you think of something, I mean, why not do it, And even better if you can do it as a family and just kind of start on that path and that journey of contribution with your teen, because then as they grow older, they're gonna have that,
That's the most important message here.
yeah, they're gonna have that within them, right? They're gonna
Yeah.
have that inside of them forever. And
Mhm.
who knows what they'll go on to do and how they'll go on to
Who knows how
contribute in
they could
this
change
world.
the world? Who
Yeah.
knows, right?
Just by
With
that
that
one
heart,
notion. Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
with that heart. Tony Robbins talks about he grew up in a family where um he had an alcoholic mother. He went through like four dads, and it was very poor and everything. And he said that this one Thanksgiving, I think it was, a family came by with all the food for Thanksgiving. And the dad that he had at the home at the time was like, nope, we're not accepting this, and pushed it away. And he just remembered that here we are all starving. We want to do this. And you just pushed away someone who was kind enough to give us this.
Yeah.
And that flipped a switch in his head, that now his whole mission is what he does with every purchase or anything that's done. It goes towards feeding America. And
Yeah.
I don't know, he's working on 1 billion meals at this point. That
Mm-hmm.
one thing from someone giving, trying to give, he wanted to accept, the father didn't, but that one thing made him go, wait a minute, I can do that for other people when I have the means.
Yeah.
And now look what he's doing. He's changing the world. I mean, he's feeding the world.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So you never know. You never know
Yeah.
what's going to spark something amazing in your teen. Your teen's going to become an adult, and man, they could do so much. It'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
So yeah, the secret to living is giving. And why not give in this festive Christmas season?
yep. Can do it all year long, but this is a good starting point.
It's a very good starting point. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Alrighty.
okay, well, have a beautiful Christmas, Hanukkah, all those celebrations that you choose to do in your family, whatever your culture is. We appreciate you, and we hope that this is a gift for you from us, and we are helping you become the best parent you can be. And that's our hope. That's why we do this. And that's it.
Yeah.
We love
Yep.
you.
Here's a
We
special
appreciate
gift for
you.
everyone.
Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Technology.
Look at that.
Okay, that doesn't work for me, but you got this one for me.
All right.
Wow.
Take
That's
care,
cool.
everyone.
All right.
We love you all, and we'll see you next week.
Have a beautiful time with your family.
Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. I don't know, all of them. All of them. Happy, happy family time.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
That was good.
I was doing this, and then I was like, uh-oh, because that's gonna happen. So